Okay, for Pepe Solo and Golden Wolf, this is me doing a speed run as much as I can on a multi-part mesh. So we're going to go from start to end all at once. I'm not going to do any separate tips or anything like that. That's all in those other videos. I am going to, however, get very lost trying to find the thing. There we go. All right, models now painted, buildings, focus, gravity generator. That's the only one that actually has multiple parts at the moment. So what I'm going to do is move this back and then over to AAA completed. That way nobody else gets confused and does the same thing. So then I'm going to go chase it down. I guess I could have done this from the other folder. Hit download. I'm going to, this is a building focused gravity generator. I want to make sure that that's categorized correctly. Where's my, so much for speed. Focused. Focused. Okay. Graph. What is this thing? Okay, there we go. Focus gravity generator 16. It is under buildings. Cool. All right. Well done, Blue. Don't have a buildings folder right now, which you will find in a few cases. So, buildings. Going under. Show and explore. That pops up. Open this. This is going to be my download location for this. Alrighty, that got downloaded. Just gonna open this up. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh no, there we go. We do have an FBX. I'm not going to be keeping any of this though, because it's a multi-part one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in temporary. This is going to be easier to deal with from there. Let's clicking around. All right, it does its import. Almost 3 minutes in. That's slow. Oh well. Trying to win the Indy 500 here. Come on. All right. Focused gravity generator based off of this thing. It's supposed to be scale 16. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drag this thing in. Actually, to save myself from having to double click. This thing is minuscule at the moment, so I'm just going to go ahead, do 100 as the scale. Yep, now it's the size that Blue intended it to be, although that may be bigger or smaller than we actually are intending to be in the game. All right, I'm going to take, just going to select all of these, drag these in the materials folder. I hate it when it does that. Drag the wrong thing. All right, select both of these. Let's see, mission on both of these. So arc and combined emissive. I'm gonna select the material and then drag in the diffuse, metallic, roughness, occlusion, normal, don't hit fix, emission, I don't care about there being an actual color or not, diffuse, metallic, roughness, occlusion, normal, don't hit fix, emission, I don't care about that. Okay. The guess I'd better do the emissions after all, because I can't tell how I'm going to shrink down this. I'm also going to hit fix on this after all. specifically because I'm doing a combination. So, okay. Right now we've got a bunch of 2048 by 2048 textures. So what I'm going to do is this is apparently the base, I guess. Let's try downing that. Sure. Downing that. Again, barely any quality loss. I'm going to go ahead just for the sake of argument, and I'm going to down these things to 512. This is the metallic roughness occlusion. We don't need that degree of precision on them. I think the Pro Draw Call Optimizer will handle that, but we'll find out. You're not going to have to use Pro Draw Call Optimizer, of course, if you don't have multiple, if you don't have multiple sections of mesh anyway. So add selected in children, approximate atlas size, yeah. All that's good. So focused gravity generator, bake atlas. I'll be very curious to see what it does with the metallic roughness occlusion. If it makes that smaller or what it does. Let's see what it did. Metallic roughness occlusion, 2048 by 1024. Yeah, it didn't change anything on that. So you're going to want all of them in a particular group to be one size. Okay, done with this. I now have my materials and my mesh. I've got a very small number of vertices on there, which is great. It actually created the prefab for me as well. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go back in here in the temporary folder, delete all the things that I got from Blue. I have this one combined copy version here. I am going to copy this. Okay, I never made a folder for it. Focused gravity generator, buildings, create folder, focused gravity generator, boom. Copy all this stuff. I missed. What you get for being an Indy 500. Focused gravity generator, I'm going to rename this, which is the prefab, should be. Yep. Okay, so now, now this is supposed to be, okay, so at this point, I could check this in, but I don't really care. I'll do that later. I'm done with the merge/unity. If I check this in, I'm done. Now I get a chance to do LOD 1 plus. This thing is 2200 vertices, which is barely worth doing another LOD, but it's, why not? So mesh simplify, I'm going to try it via this. All right, let's try to 99, see what happens. Went down very small amount. Okay, let's try it to 50. All right, that got a hole in it? I can't tell. Oh, there's some ring things around it. All right, so 70. All right, so I'm going to go with 50. That does cut the holes in it. Let's actually try 30. Yeah, that's not any worse. And past a certain distance, it's not going to matter. And a lot of times we're going to be seeing it from past that distance. So we're down to 814 vertices. So hooray. Buildings, focus gravity generator, LOD1. We have no reason to make any more LODs than that. I can just hit revert right there, and I'm now back to having focus gravity generator. Yeah, I'm going to hit F to get in closer to it. We now have the LED 1 for this thing. So at this point, I'm now done with the LED 1 plus column. Now it's time for the end of the game, into the game 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Arkin visual solo mesh ship. I'm going to hit auto fix things wrong with this model. I do have the drawing the boxes on, and so this is a little bit big though. However, neat trick. I want this to scale down evenly on all sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change this to 5 and 5 and 6. Not quite evenly on all sides, but closer to even on all sides. Right, 5. Yeah, that should be good. It's not exact, but this is just in general. The mouse has to touch that box, and it will then say, "Hey, look, this is my spot." All right, now I'm dragging in this to the line of miss and hit point because I just want it to be on the center. Meshes per LOD. I'm going to have 2 entries in here because I have an LOD 1 and an LOD 0. I'm going to have 2 entries in the LOD distances. That's fine that it just freaked out. We're going to do like 6,000 for this, which basically means we'll do 8,000. This thing's pretty big. And so it'll basically say just keep drawing for a long, long time. I'm going to say like 90 here. I have no idea if it's going to be right or not. We're going to correct that in a bit. All right, the original mesh for LED 0 went in there. Secondary mesh went in there. Instancing not enabled on the material. Forgot to do that. That's fine. Now I've got it done. Oh, now I also wanted to up the brightness on this thing so that we get a bit of a PBR sort of look. And I'm also going to change the coloring on it slightly so that we get at oblique angles an interesting output. And that's a little bit too whited out, so we're going to down that a little. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. I'm now going to hit, I'm going to hit Safe Apply. And now it's time to get this thing scaled correctly, which I already forgotten what the scale was supposed to be. It's supposed to be scale 16. That's pretty small. So which block is 16? It's 24. So 16 is this one here. So it's about the size of a space dock. So we're going to grab this thing, just drag that over this general area. This is a case now where the box stuff can be in your way. Just go ahead and say stop drawing boxes. Now I want to see how this looks compared to the scale 16 box. A little on the small side. We'll just crank that up just a hair. That's about right. All right. I'm going to find a place to park this in the parking lot. I'll just stick it here. Why not? Do I want this to be higher or lower than other things? Focused gravity generator. It might look cool if it's a little bit unusually low. Not that unusually low. All right. So we'll do that. Now, since I have this thing selected, it's displaying LOD 0 right now, and I've got it set at 90 to switch over to LOD 1. So I just did switch. That's too close. Let's see, 185. Let's try this. So 180. Got to click out of there before it takes. Zooming in. That's still a little on the close side. Remember, you will often be viewing it from pretty far away. I'm gonna set this to just 350. I think that'll be good enough. Yeah, look at that. You can barely tell a difference there. You know what? I bet I could get away with 300. Boom. 292. I can get away with that. Nobody's going to notice that in the middle of play. It'll be that much more efficient most of the time. Okay, Arkin Visual Solo Mesh ship, that is set up. Focus Gravity Generator prefab, I already have. Whoops. Safe apply prefab, not just apply prefab. I come in here, Arkin Bundle, AI War 2 Goodie Box. Now, important ingredient, save all assets. While I'm doing this, all right, so this URL, Final Game Meshes, Buildings, Focus Gravity Generator, Focus Gravity Generator prefab. Not going to be able to click into here while I'm doing this, so I am going to go ahead and memorize that while I build asset bundle. Now I don't have the what do you call it? Visual Studio open at the moment, so I'm going to go into AI Arkin AI W2 Core, crack that open. This is the one that I happen to have all my meshes in, or all my XML files in. I'm going to look for focused grav. It's probably named that, but if it happens to not be named that, then I'll still be able to find it some way. Okay. Entity name under his turrets there. Yep. Focused gravity generator. So here's the entity. It already had a prefab apparently. Didn't know that. So focused gravity generator, focused gravity generator. And then it was still exporting right now. So what was it? Final game, can't remember the exact word. Yeah, final game meshes. Just wanted to make sure I had the typing right. Control U, lowercase is these buildings. This should be correct. I need to remember to go back in and delete the other focused gravity generator. I'm going to go ahead and fire up another copy of Unity. I'm not going to be able to test with it yet, but that's life. The test underscore, what was this thing? Player score. I can't remember the name of that. Since I can't remember it off the top of my head, I'm just going to do search for this. Click in here, go down below balance stuff, and we've got should be test here somewhere. Test spawn. Okay, test spawn for player, test spawn for AI. Okay, so Keith, KDL, chips turrets. There we go. Test spawn for player. True. Oops, that is something else. Oh man, 18 minutes already. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna do another video that's just a single material one after this, and I think get it under 10. I'm gonna pause this while I'm just sitting here waiting. Okay, my sitting there waiting is very, very short. So at this point, hey, come on now. It's making me sit there and wait again. Finish building the Windows asset bundle. However, I want to get rid of the old one because it's going to be sending that into the game. So actually, I can look here. Focused gravity generator. There's this one here. And then under turrets, focused gravity generator. can delete that. It's under models. And there's an LED. That's fine. This prefab here was the old one. That really has to go because it was in the AIW2 goodie box. All of this stuff is in final game meshes, meaning it is mine. You can see the location is down at the bottom. So hooray, if I build again, it'll have one less thing in it. But I don't need to build again because it's not actually looking for that. So I hit start. Now this is a building that falls into the middle category of sizes. And so I don't need to worry, unlike the bomber video with about the grids and all that sort of stuff. I don't have to worry about scaling this up probably because this is probably going to be feeling pretty okay already. All right, so where is this thing? Oh, no. Focus gravity. Oh, it's the turret. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. Control and then middle mouse button to move around a little bit. It's not the prettiest ship in the world, but it's just, it is what it is. All right. And then at this point, I would come in, remove test spawn player. If I feel like trying to make it look slightly prettier, then what I can do is come in here with the material. I think it's a little on the harsh side with the brightness, so I can down that just a tad. I think that's making it wash out. And then I can adjust the metalness a little bit so that we get a little more detail in there. And maybe the occlusion up a little. When Blue is designing this stuff in Substance Painter, it's going to look one way. And when we get a chance to put it into the game, the different lighting and stuff can make a difference. So I have a feeling that this looks a lot more like what she had in her original. So these changes were all on the material, so I don't have to apply the prefab, but I'm going to anyway. And then now the all-important step of save all assets. And when I build the Windows Asset Bundle and I want to go look at it again, it should look much better. At this point, I come to my root folder, hit svn commit, and let's see what's different. I'm going to just hit all for now. First of all this stuff is focus gravity generator related that I deleted. All good. KDL ships turrets. If I'm concerned about what I might have changed in there that may or may not be correct, I can right click and hit compare with base. I'm putting tips in here anyway. I'm sorry. While that's opening, I could scroll through here. I've got the buildings folder because that was new. And I've got all these various focus gravity generator things that I added. That's everything. If I change scale examples, I could undo that. This is the only line that changed. This changed the way that I expected it. There's nothing else weird. So focused gravity generator graphics are now in place. Commit that, hit OK. At this point, I can pop open the wiki page to the current release, hit edit, Click in this, paste, save changes. I'm done. Commit is done. I forgot to mark here into game. Yes, that's everything. Thanks for watching.